Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Craig Passion for DS Sports as always. It's been a few days a week, it's been a week late in getting this episode out, but we're going to recap what's happened over the national team over the last international break. A couple of results that we missed out on, obviously the Austria game, 2-2 draw there, and then played Israel and the Faroe Islands. After that, couple of interesting results, a little bit of reaction from that, and some. We look forward to the Euros, and there has just been announced that there is some news prior to the Euros just coming up. So we'll talk about those in just a minute. As always, guys, remember to leave a like on the channel, subscribe if you're new, leave a comment on anything regarding the national team, your thoughts over the last international break, and what the good points and the bad points were. We'll certainly go through as many of them as we can over the next few minutes. So, trip to Israel, not a great hunting ground for us. We haven't won there over the last wee while. Important to get a good result in this one. Ended up being a 1-1 draw. The Peretz goal in the first half, just before half time, opened the scoring for Israel, but a brilliant finish from Ryan Fraser sort of in the first 10-15 minutes of the second half levelled the score, and that's how it stayed after the 90 minutes. So I think a really interesting game. I thought first half we just didn't really get out the blocks. It just wasn't really much happening for us. We didn't really get any kind of hold in the game. I think we just gave too much respect to Israel in the end, and we ultimately paid the price. I mean, you could argue Marshall should arguably save the goal. Save the goal from Peretz. It doesn't really have to do too much, but it's one of these ones where it does move a wee bit, and you can kind of lose sight of it in the end. So yeah, obviously an awful goal to concede, but we really responded in the second half. Like, we made the change to move to a back four by taking off Jack Hendry, and I think it was put on Kane McLean, I think, was it? I can't remember off the top of my head. Might have been a second striker off the top. I can't remember. Lost it now. But yes, moved to a back four, allowed us to be a bit more sort of in their faces, get an extra man in midfield, and maybe push around a wee bit. Extra man further forward as well. So yeah, I thought we did okay second half. We got the goal we arguably deserved, but after that I felt like there was still the lack of desire there to go and really get the game, go and really take the 3 points, and it was a big 3 points too. And the interesting thing was 5,000 fans in Tel Aviv that night at the Bloomfield Stadium. So yeah, obviously great to see fans back. A couple of Tartan Army fans I noticed. But yeah, I think the overall result wasn't quite good enough. And, 2 points from the opening 2 games, you could have arguably asked for a win in either of those. But it is what it is. It's not terrible. We didn't lose the game. We've arguably not played our best over the 2 games. And yeah, still managed to grind results out. So it is what it is. And then we moved on. Faroe Islands, a much more convincing result in the end. A 4-0 win. 2 goals for John McGinn. A first Scotland goal for Che Adams. And the 4th goal, who was it? I can't remember who it was. It's slipped my mind, and I can't believe it has. Ryan Fraser? Yeah, Ryan Fraser. That's the one. Perfect. Right. Yeah, I think brilliant early goal from John McGinn. Really got us going. You think then, bit of a bogey team in Faroe Islands. Well, in general, to be honest, not really for Scotland, although they have had a couple of draws over the early part of the century. But yeah, opening goal got us in the game. Brilliant finish from John McGinn. Great build-up play. Kieran Tierney with the cutback in the end. Goes on to get 3 assists. So brilliant, brilliant performance by him, and we're all absolutely ranting and raving about him. A lot of debate over the Robertson-Tierney debate. I think they can both play in the same team. I think the threat of those two playing is really great. Although we've got Kieran Tierney, who injured against Arsenal, obviously not, injured against Liverpool on the weekend, and it looks like he might be out until possibly around the time of the end of the season, going into the Euros. So it's going to be touch and go whether we can get him fit enough for the Euros I think it's the 12th of June it begins. Well, I think that's when the tournament begins. I think we begin on the 15th or 16th of June against the Czech Republic at Hampden. So, moving back to the game, great opening goal by John McGinn, but then it kind of petered out. We started really brightly, really good interactions, really good play. Just didn't quite, just kind of slowed down, gave Faroe Islands a bit of time on the ball and a bit of time to get into the game. But yep, second half, much changed again. Brilliant goal from Che Adams, a great finish by him. Robertson setting up Fraser for the third goal, and then John McGinn getting the fourth as well. I believe he got the fourth as well. I might have got these in the wrong order. Apologies if I got that wrong, but I know that some great goals in there. So yeah, fantastic. 4-0 win. Could have been one of these games where it could have been a tough one to grind out, but great 4-0 win, and it kind of generates a bit of momentum. We've got some very, very big games coming up. We've got Denmark in the group. So September time, you're talking Denmark away, Moldova at home, and Austria away. So if you're looking at 4 points perhaps from those, it would be brilliant. 6 points, you're then on the front foot. You're probably then ahead of Israel at that point, and you're looking at second place being a good target. But anything against Denmark would be brilliant, but it looks unlikely given their form at the moment. But before then, it is Euros, and the big news coming out today is that there will be warm-up fixtures. So on the 2nd of June, Scotland will travel to Luxembourg and play them in a friendly. So that's a bit of a sort of, should get through it, but it could be a bogey team. Luxembourg obviously just beating Ireland away from home at the Aviva Stadium. That was a bit of an embarrassing result for them. So hopefully that won't happen to us. And then 4 days later, or it might even be I think it's maybe a week later, or I'm not too sure. So the 6th or the 9th of June, they'll go to they'll play the Netherlands. This one will be played in the Algarve in Portugal. So 2 away from home, quite bizarrely. You would have thought maybe bring them here, saves the travelling, allows the team to get comfortable in their training bases or whatever. But yeah, there it is, So a game where it will be much more to the quality of what we'll expect from the Euros, and a game in which it will hopefully get the team in a winning mood. So those are to be playing the start of June before starting the Euros on the 15th of June. I know the England game's on the 19th of June. So is there 4 games in between that? Possibly, I'm not too sure. I'd need to double check it. May even be the 14th of June or earlier. But yeah, so interesting 2 performances. It leaves us second in the group on 5 points. Denmark 100% on 9 points. They look really great right now. So we'd arguably need something against the Danes in Denmark, but that's going to be extremely difficult. I'd imagine. Denmark playing really, really well at the moment, and it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one anyway. But haven't lost any games. I think there's not a lot that can be said against Steve Clarke. You could say, why didn't we go for it more against Israel? But it is what it is. I would have loved us to win in Israel, but I think a draw was probably the most realistic result. But as long as we did not lose the game, that was the main thing. And coming off a good result against Austria as well, good performance in the end, good, just outdone by a couple of good quality goals as well. So it is what it is. It's a good result. It's a decent start in the end. It's probably just about the minimum we could have wanted. Like I say, we haven't lost the game, still unbeaten, and we can still try and gain momentum. And look forward to the Euros. That's completely clean slate now. Get the 23 best players we have all fit and ready to go, and hopefully KT will be a part of that as well. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Quite a short one, this one. But I'm going to be back later on in the week. We're going to be looking at Barcelona's campaign this season. It's been extremely fascinating to look at. I'm going to be looking at the rise, the difficult start under Koeman, and how they've slowly but surely improved their way through the season, and there's been a lot of off the field stuff going on, which has then resulted in, you know, a few things that I'll explain in the next video. So until then, guys, this will be coming up in the next sort of day or two if I get time. But yeah, until then, guys, thank you very much for watching. This has been the recap of the international break for the Scotland national team. Bring on the Euros, as we say. A couple of warm-up games at the start of June, but all eyes on the Euros and all eyes on the Czech Republic at Hampden in the middle of June. Until then, guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll speak to you guys very soon. Remember to leave a like and comments and subscribe to the channel as always, and we'll see you guys very soon.